Speaking of Nyla Rose was on the Sessions podcast with Renee Paquette this week, talking all things Nyla Rose. Apparently, she's written a fucking X-Men comic book. That's the shit. Doing some other Hollywood stuff. Nyla Rose making some big moves. That's fucking dope. She's a super fun Twitter follow, by the way. They actually mention it in this podcast, but hey, throw Nyla Rose on your Twitter. She tweets funny shit all the time. I laugh my ass off. Seems cool as fuck. Really cool. But, people like to pick on her because she is trans. And apparently this missed my radar, by the way. Apparently this happened a couple weeks ago. But the guy who runs Ringside News, I've heard of this news site before. I'm aware that they exist, but I don't particularly follow them or anything, so I hadn't heard about this till now. But apparently they went on a big tirade on Twitter about how Nyla Rose won the women's title in AEW when she's a man.
People sure love to talk a little trash. I didn't think that we were going to get into this so early on in the interview, but here we are talking about a little trash. Let's just address the Ringside News bullshit that happened recently. What is your reaction to somebody having that opinion and so blatantly putting it out there and being so ignorant? What is your reaction to that?
I laugh because at this stage in the game, it's all recycled jokes. It's nothing I haven't heard before. Sometimes it stings a little. Sometimes things seep through the cracks. It can be a little challenging. Mm-hmm. But for the most part, these are some very uncreative people. So it was really weird. It felt like there was some world star, a good hood fight going on, and you're sitting there watching it, and then you just caught a wild punch to the face because he's going in on TK for whatever reason, and he's tweeting at him just these angry, hateful tweets at Tony, and he's like, blah, 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 and Nyla, and I'm like, whoa!
Hold up.
What did I do? I just got here.
Yeah, he got roasted on the internet, and he actually ended up getting dropped from his affiliate. Apparently, he had some sort of deal with USA Sports, USA Today Sports, or I think that's what it was, something like that. One of those big, higher up corporate companies had him as their wrestling affiliate or whatever. So he got dropped for that. Again, we covered a lot of this with the FE segment. If you're just watching this in the clips, go check out the FE segment if you want kind of more on the whole transgender, gay thing that's going on in professional wrestling. And just that whole movement and how progressive that pro wrestling has been with this whole situation. But certainly, you get these drunk fucks that get on Twitter and they just go on rants and tirades about this stuff. He got roasted, but look, at the end of the day, no, I think an argument can be made if this was an actual sport, right? So, Joe Rogan takes a lot of heat from the trans community because he's openly said that he's against, trans women in in the UFC who to fight basically a former man, somebody who has transitioned from being a man to a woman, fighting a woman because they still have there's just natural things that you can't change, men have more strength, men have stronger bone structure. It's just, these are things that are just ingrained in nature, right? Whether you're on hormone therapy or whatever you got going on, you're still going to have certain things that just are not going to change. So if it's a real and we've seen this time and time again, with the swimmer who's the trans swimmer who joined the women's team and won the gold medals or whatever. It's of course, because a male is going to almost always out-athlete. A male athlete will always out-athlete a female athlete just because men are built stronger, faster, bigger, harder. And that's not to be, that's nature. Look it up, fuckers. It's not trying to pick on chicks or anything like that. But it is what it is. So, you get on the hormone blockers and stuff like that. You're transitioning into a woman. That's fine aesthetically, and if that's what you want to do. But, like, when you get into sports and you're physical, then you can make a point for, like, hey, now, you can really hurt people. But professional wrestling is professional wrestling. It's fake. I don't know if the guy who writes the wrestling news site, the Dirt Sheet, which, I don't know how reputable of a dirt sheet he is. I think he's more of like a taking other people's stories and just posting the news. But regardless, whatever the fuck he does, he's going to do less of it now because he got dropped from his affiliate. But did anybody tell him that it's actually professional wrestling and that it's not real and that these people work with each other? So Nyla being in the women's division is zero harm to women at all. It's a fake sport. I'm sorry, it's fake, right? So the fact that somebody who was a man at one point in time in their life, now a female, in the women's division is not going to affect anything. It doesn't hurt anything. It's a show. It's theater. It's athletic theater, okay? So get off your fucking drunk ass. Get off your phone. Fuck off. And just leave people be, man. Nyla Rose is the shit. She really is one of my favorite people, personalities from AEW. Not so much on TV. I don't like her character as much, but anytime I see an interview with Nyla, or like I said, just the Twitter follow, seriously, like anytime you see any of that kind of stuff pop up, watch it, listen to it, read it, because Nyla's entertaining as fuck. She's got a very cool personality, and that's why she's getting these opportunities, like to write for the X-Men, for fuck's sakes. Do you get to write an X-Men comic? No. So props to her. Fuck that guy. On to the next. Let me tell you something, brother. You can check out full episodes each and every Sunday right here on this channel, dude. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, and don't forget to take your vitamins and say your prayers, brother.